Welcome back to the GraphCoin channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. So, wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I have to start with this from the crypto basic before we discuss XRP. There are now just 10 days left for XRP holders to get their night tokens. It is possible that holders of XRP on Cardano ADA will lose out on a historic airdrop. A member of the Cardano community has reminded all eligible recipients about the midnight airdrop. For holders of XRP, this is a genuine airdrop from Cardano. However, when I see most XRP holders discussing this, they say things like, "Yeah, I have my XRPs and cold storage, but I don't really care about the midnight airdrop." However, there are numerous step-by-step instructions available on YouTube and across X if you do wish to claim it. Since I'm not even claiming mine, I won't go into great detail in a video to explain you how to get your midnight tokens. This was also released by the National Cryptocurrency Association. The housing market is being impacted by cryptocurrency. The 20 Honest Century Mortgage Act of 2025, a bill that was just proposed in Congress, would mandate that banks recognize cryptocurrency as an asset that Americans can use to qualify for a mortgage. Mortgages backed by Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae would fall under this category. The government-backed businesses that establish the guidelines that the majority of lenders adhere to. The idea has not yet been approved or put to a vote. Many individuals tell me that this has already happened. It hasn't gone by yet. I'm really looking forward to this since I believe you could use your cryptocurrency as collateral to obtain a mortgage rather than borrowing money or selling it to buy a home. Additionally, it will create a lot of opportunities for those who wish to invest in real estate. Use these programs to sell your cryptocurrency instead of selling it yourself. Never does it sell all of your XRP. Use it as security to obtain a mortgage and purchase a home. The concept appeals to me. That, in my opinion, will also encourage more individuals to invest in cryptocurrency. Breaking. The U.S. Treasury affirms that the U.S. has no Bitcoin. No agencies have reported that any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency has been added to U.S. reserves, despite Trump's call for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I keep seeing on X that the U.S. recently purchased an additional $4 billion worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is being purchased for the U.S. by this company, Strategic Reserve for Bitcoin. It's all bullshit. The Bitcoin in the United States is seized. They aren't purchasing more. To be honest, I don't think they're even interested in purchasing more. Everyone wants you to think that we're competing with the rest of the globe to buy more Bitcoin than China or Russia, or to obtain X quantity of Bitcoin. To be honest, they don't give a damn. They are hoarding gold. Because gold will be used to support their currencies. The terror of these people is genuine. The fact that more individuals are choosing XRP over Bitcoin makes Bitcoin maxis angry. They are already circulating false information that XRP has no practical application. This cannot be made up. Listen to it. Shortly after, I watched Patrick Bet-David conduct a survey asking which cryptocurrency had the best long-term technology. Ripple received 43.8% of the vote, while Bitcoin received only 35%. What's happening? Why do you think that so many people support Ripple? Thus, upon writing that thread, I hastily conducted some research to determine the value proposition of the topic. What is similar to the 101? Additionally, the Ripple tail essentially speaks for itself. As an example, this coin has existed since 2012. Additionally, I believe that if someone asks, well, how has it actually been used? In reality, what has been done with it? You need to raise questions when you have a technology that has been in use for over 10 years and no one is using it. Why? Furthermore, I don't believe there is any doubt that the cryptocurrency sector is rife with deception, fraud, and deceptive advertising, among other things. Furthermore, I believe that Ripple is a firm that has engaged in a lot of, dishonest actions in their marketing strategy. They launched a campaign in which, well, they issued a coin to finance the Ripple network, so I suppose I'll start there. Alright. They are attempting to argue that XRP has no practical use case and that it was invented by Ripple to finance Ripple. The greatest figures in the industry are meeting with Ripple in the meanwhile. In addition to meeting with the ECB, BlackRock and JP Morgan also met with the US President. White papers about XRP and RippleNet technologies were written by the BIS, cryptocurrency. They find it incomprehensible that Bitcoin has no use whereas XRP has. Their belief is that Bitcoin was given to them by the gods, as if it were more than simply cryptocurrency. The truth is that Bitcoin becomes obsolete as time passes, technology develops further, and a new financial system is introduced. In the not-too-distant future, these people will be sobbing themselves to sleep. Sony, Samsung, and Coinbase all place bets on stable currency. Bastion, a startup that assists businesses in launching digital currencies without coding or licensing, received $14.6 million from the tech giants. All of these businesses will require a means of moving their stable coins as they are being created. Stated differently, let's assume Sony want to send Samsung Sony currency. It would enter as Sony currency, exit as Samsung currency, then enter as XRP. You therefore require bridge currency. However, everyone wants to join the stable coin bandwagon. On October honest, the Senate will hold a hearing on cryptocurrency taxes. I heard a lot of people discussing this, and they believe that the purpose of the meeting is to remove the taxes on cryptocurrency produced in the United States. That is not the purpose of this gathering. Where they proceed from here is what they are discussing. They want transactions under $300 to be excused if they are made with cryptocurrency. However, Bitcoin transactions aren't the only ones. All cryptocurrency transactions would fall under this category. However, this has nothing to do with removing cryptocurrency taxes. I sincerely hope the president would provide a fresh pronouncement regarding that and set a timetable. It was, in my opinion, just a fantastic talking topic at the moment. The taxes on cryptocurrency won't likely be removed anytime soon, in my opinion. I wanted to bring this up. Smaller individual investors will soon find day trading easier. The long-standing $25,000 minimum equity rule for pattern day trading would be replaced by revisions accepted by the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. Their goal is to provide retail. Their goal is to attract individual investors to engage in day trading. When Gary was still at the SEC, I always hoped that he would not have implemented a requirement that you go via an accredited investor in order to invest in cryptocurrency. Recall that every investment would need to be at least $10,000 when they were discussing the $10,000. In 2022 and early 2023, they were batting that about for a while. I'm so happy that didn't occur. That would have prevented a large number of individual investors from entering this market. However, it appears that they are now attempting to increase the involvement of retail investors in equities, in addition to using tokenization to expand the stock market globally. The issue is that most ordinary investors believe that cryptocurrency has more potential. The source of this is black swan capitalists. The claim that CBDCs were outlawed in the US is a ruse. The construction of the infrastructure is ongoing. Despite public opposition, the agenda remained unchanged. Listen carefully, Jim. You are right when you claim that you cannot have a C currency. However, the research keeps evolving it from bank to bank, B. That's happening. Do we both possess digital currencies issued by central banks? No. However, behind the scenes, the bank-to-bank blockchain transfer mechanism is still being created so that when the time comes to enforce this, it will be very simple since they are continuing the research and development. This is because MAGA will not be in power forever and Trump will not be president forever. According to Jim Rickards, the infrastructure and plumbing for the digital